Well, I just had a pretty good encounter. I should have videoed it, but there's just some things you don't video. I ran into a new driver. Wasn't nothing bad, so don't get a wrong impression. I was in the Verizon store and got talking to this guy. He'd been driving. He said he was a new driver, and took a minute in the Verizon store. It usually does. And me and him got to talking. He said he'd been driving about 3 years, and I said, "Well, hey, what's your CB handle?" One of the first things I always ask. He's like, "Oh, I got a CB, but I don't ever talk on it." And I'm like, "Well, how come?" So long story short, his company had put this Cobra 29 in for him. It was an old one. You know, the lights didn't even come on. I went over and checked it out for him. It didn't modulate at all. Didn't do anything. So I no longer have a backup for my backup. But I wanted this young man to have a good radio, so I gave him my other radio and a couple antennas because he needs to have that. You know, I know Google can tell you most everything, but not everything. You know what I mean? So there's some places we check into, you got to have a CB, man. If you don't have a CB, you got to call this phone number, then you got to wait on them. If you got a CB, you can just be like, okay, because it'll say check in on channel 12. And you can holler at him, "Hey, I'm here to pick up a load." Makes it so much easier. He said, "Well, I've always wanted to talk on it, but I just never could get it to work." And I said, "Well, here you go. Take this one. This will work. It's got a mod kit in it. It's nice. I just bought it yesterday. Tested it out. Works perfect." So he was pretty happy. He's from Watts, California. If any of the old school people out there knows where that's at, that's pretty rough town, man. Watts riots back in the 60s. You remember hearing about those? Look them up on YouTube. They're pretty badass. A lot of people died. Yeah, but he's out here making a life for his family and bettering his life, and just doing really good. His name was Bill. Really good young kid, man. I'm glad I met him. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, man. You know, if people don't have a radio and you can help. You know, that $120 you spend for a radio, which I didn't give that for that radio. I only gave $50 for that radio. It's $50 well spent. That kid was tickled to death. It was worth every dime of $50. Worth every dime of $200 if I'd have paid. If I'd have gave him my big radio, if I could have told him how to hook it up. I don't care. It's only money. It doesn't matter. If you make somebody's day, that's what it's about, man. Help somebody out. You know, you don't always have to turn a blind eye and just walk by somebody. It doesn't hurt every now and then. You just say, "Hey, man, you okay? You doing all right?" You know, buy somebody lunch or something, man. When you pass another driver in the parking lot, throw your hand up. Say hi. We're all in this together. You know, you walk in these parking lots now and everybody got their head down, walking like this. I walk my head up and say hi to everybody. They don't answer back, I don't care. I said hi. That's the way it should be, man. That's the way it used to be. I remember when I first started driving, you couldn't walk into the truck stop without getting stopped 2 or 3 times. God wants you to smoke a joint or drink a beer, or I mean, it was crazy back then. Not always smoke a joint. A lot of times it was the grills going, "Come on, hey man, did you eat yet? You going in to eat? No, come here, get a hamburger. We got French fries and everything." You know, that don't happen a whole lot anymore. I mean, we can make that happen again, but just don't be so bashful, man. We're all in this together. Talk to each other, man. We're all in this together. That's what you got to remember, okay? Y'all truck hard, truck safe, and what? Make smart decisions, man. Y'all have a good day. That made my day, man. I feel real good about that. God love y'all, man.